Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name's Chris and every day we bring you up-to-date news, technical analysis. We highlight hidden gems so you can get in super early, make a ton of cash. If you like making money in crypto, hit the like button, subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications so you never miss a thing. And don't forget, you can now join and become a member. Head over to the channel page, select join, and then run through the instructions on screen. It'd be great to have you as one of the cheeky crew. Right, so today I want to talk about everything DeFi. I've mentioned it a few times on live streams, and yeah, I just don't think this is covered enough. Forget about Dogecoin. The future of crypto is definitely DeFi, in my opinion. The growth to alternative finance ecosystems built on the blockchain, is the biggest crypto story that most people just aren't really talking about. So I'm going to get into this and wash up with my thoughts and opinions as well. So, let's get into it. Last week, Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey announced that Square, the financial company he also runs, will be launching a new platform for creating decentralized finance projects using Bitcoin. Amid the constant online FUD surrounding cryptocurrency, yes, I am referring to Elon Musk, and no one in crypto seems to like Elon Musk and his tweets. However, with that said, his tweets are having less impact on the market recently, so that's fantastic to see. But you would be forgiven for not giving Dorsey's move the time of day, right? Because of everything that Elon Musk seems to be doing and various others in the space. Still, Square's project might end up being remembered as the watershed moment, the moment decentralized finance, or DeFi, finally entered the mainstream, right? And let me get into this in a little bit more detail. In recent days, DeFi has emerged as one of the most interesting developments, hoping to reshape the cryptocurrency world. There are a number of projects or blockchains that allow for the provision of services and the execution of more complex tasks than just sending and receiving payments like Bitcoin. Arguably, it all started just after the ICO bubble in 2017, when thousands of entrepreneurs raised billions by selling cryptocurrency tokens online as if they were stocks, often non-existing companies, right? After the crash, Ethereum started to crawl with a host of services, dApps, or decentralized applications, offering a wide range of financial operations, from loans to futures to exchanges to algorithmic trading. And now we have many other projects offering very similar services or dApps like Cardano, like Harmony, for example. There are many more. The selling point, as usual, when it comes to cryptocurrency projects is decentralization. Users of these services would be unshackling themselves from the real world financial banks, for example, but also from cryptocurrency focused institutions that have evolved into becoming gatekeepers, really. And I'm referring to crypto exchanges like Coinbase, Binance, KuCoin, Gate.io, and Tether, the company behind the stablecoin USDT, a digital asset whose price is theoretically pegged to the dollar. But is it? We're just not really too sure, are we? Ethereum's decentralized finance apps allow users to trade without undergoing the identity checks, anti-money laundering regulations, and other limitations of centralized or more centralized alternatives. Plus, it's much more fun, right? So yeah. There are a number of advantages to DeFi. For example, in theory, it's up 100% of the time, unlike Coinbase, which is a really good example of an exchange that is always down the moment you need it to be up, right? Whenever the price increases somewhere near the moon, Coinbase is offline, right? And Yeah, it's always a coincidence, right? Plus, with the decentralized applications, you normally use like a MetaMask wallet, for example. So your crypto is not actually stored on an exchange. So Nick and myself are always talking about, never keeping your crypto on an exchange. If you don't own your keys, you don't own your crypto. We always use the hardware wallet, Ledger. Link in the description if you'd like to get one of those. We always advise getting them directly from the manufacturer. Otherwise you risk somebody perhaps modifying one and stealing your crypto. So always get direct from the manufacturer. Our link takes you straight to the manufacturer, right? With all the chaos and panic around regulation crackdowns recently on centralized exchanges, has only made DeFi protocols such as MakerDAO, Uniswap, Compound, ViperSwap more and more popular. The hottest thing in DeFi had become something dubbed yield farming, a mechanism to earn new cryptocurrency tokens just by depositing other tokens on a decentralized lending market. So what do I think about DeFi? Well, I believe that DeFi will eventually mature. At the moment, I think it's still sort of in a sandbox of sorts. I do expect DeFi to become more mainstream. I talk about this on streams all the time. I expect the banks to be jumping on board. At the moment, I think all this FUD with UK banks and American banks and, I guess banks in other places around the world, trying to refuse customers from being able to purchase crypto, and they're using the regulators, words for the reasoning behind this. I think this is just an excuse to try to keep the money in the banks, because at the moment banks aren't offering great returns on keeping your savings in the bank, right? Which is why a lot of people are going to alternative products like DeFi, for example, where you can get monstrous amounts of rewards for storing your crypto on a yield farm, for example, or staking, for example, right? Which you don't get these sorts of returns with your bank anymore, right? So I think they're fighting it at the moment. And I think a lot of this is FUD. Yes, they're stopping you. There are banks that aren't, so you can still purchase crypto. But, for me, they're fighting it at the moment. They will adopt it. They will learn to love it. And it will be amazing for banks and everybody involved. But for me, at the moment, it's kind of a sandbox. So I think DeFi is in that sandbox. I think, you've got a concept, you're testing it, you're validating the concept. People are trying to understand the impacts of the economics of it all in the permissionless sandbox that I will call it, that DeFi is. Once all of that is done, I can then raise the money, I can hire lawyers, and ultimately I can go mainstream with it, right? That's kind of where I see this going. Reality is that the average person wants the insurance policy of the regulated product. And some decentralized finance protocols are indeed already moving in this direction. So I think that it's a remarkable space, the DeFi space. I think if you can get into the right DeFi project, I think you're doing remarkably well. I expect this to this DeFi to do remarkably well. I think the banks will onboard. It's going to be fantastic not to have a loan that you actually have to pay back. With some of these DeFi protocols, you're going to be able to have the interest paid by your staking, right? You might not have like an end date for your loan. You might just have to repay it in chunks, and that could go on for however many years, months, weeks, days you want it to, right? It's going to flip loans and finance on its head. And that's why I think at the moment it's still in a test bed, a sandbox of sorts, and I don't think it's ready for becoming mainstream just yet. But if you can find the right project the right DeFi project and you know, with the right team, trying the right things and doing it successfully, I think you're onto an absolute winner. So that's my thoughts on DeFi. You know, I'm not sort of calling out any particular projects, but I kind of wanted to sort of give my take on it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch. Smash that like button. It really supports push out the content to like-minded individuals. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications so you never miss a thing, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.